What's up everyone, Union Dragon here. I do apologize for not posting a lot of videos as of lately, mainly due to busy with well, personal stuff, mostly the time around Christmas, and of course just playing other games that I'm enjoying. So I did took a little, of course, break away from the console version of Payday 2, but there's still a lot more stuff for me to do still. So I'm doing this right now, and that is the armor perk deck. So we're gonna do Wolf the armor. Now, I'm pretty sure everyone knows by now that this is my main perk deck for quite some time. Hell, even dated back during 2015 when this game was released for the PS4 and Xbox One. I rocked the armor perk deck and never touched the other ones. I did give the other ones a try, of course. I have burglar for stealth and armor for loud for entirety. And what I like about it is, well, let's actually read these the skills or the perk it gives me. Type 1 armor, which gives you 10% more armor. Type 2 armor gives you additional 10 more armor. Type 3 armor gives you additional 10 more armor. And then reinforced armor, your armor recovery rate is increased by 10%. When your armor gets depleted, you will be immune to health damage for 2 seconds. This cannot occur more often than once every 15 seconds, so it's on cooldown. And liquid armor, which you gain additional 5 more armor, and reduce the armor recovery time for you and your crew by 10%. And it says no, crew perks do not stack. What it means is, I think I already said it in with the crew chief video, is it will not stack with the same perk deck that you and the player are using, like 2 players using armor, for example. However, if someone else is run the crew chief and someone else runs armor, they actually stack together. And I say it many times too that people have crew chief and I had like armor or anarchist, I get a little bit more armor increase and a bit of health. So this perk deck is mainly about increasing your armor at the same time give you immunity to, when your armor breaks, you give you immunity for all damage for 2 seconds, which gives you more of a breathing room to try to fight off a bulldozer for a couple times or trying to find cover. And this one is also a bit of a team player perk deck where it reduces your cover time for you and crew by 10%, which is a nice bonus. So of course with this, I'm going to be paired off with the highest armor in the game, which is the ICTV. So the skills I have here, of course I went to the same for most of my skills I have, which I will be of course playing DLCD, unlike the other 2 perk decks which are more viable for Death Wish and below. Armor perk deck does somehow sustain enough for Death Sentence viable. I would say we'll shot just for spare points. And this time around I went ahead for shotgun skills as opposed to assault rifles, SMGs, and LMGs. Try and mix up the fray. So of course we have Underdog Basic, Shotgun CQB, Shotgun Impact, Close By, and Overkill. Whoops, I did not mean Ace. Since I'm just using shotguns, I don't know what else I'm gonna use it with for. I guess this helped for the faster aiming speed. Damn, I did not want that. Sorry about this guy, but I did not know I accidentally have Overkill Ace, which is pointless because I'm using 2 shotguns. So I'm not sure what to put in this one. Really hard with the extra spare points I have. You know what, I'll give it to here. And nah, why not a little bit for accuracy? So okay. Anyway, for the Nav Resilience Ace, Transporter, Bullseye, and Iron Man Ace, and Die Hard and Shotgun All Basic. I have Scavenger Ace. I have Steady Grip, so I have a little more spare points, as you can see. Duck and Cover, Parkour Basic, Second Wind, Optical Illusion, and High Value Target Basic. And of course got 9 lives and Swan Song Ace. But the main kicker here is for the armor perk deck, you definitely want to be focusing on the tank subtree. Now, it's really nice because you get increased armor recovery here, but you also get armor recovery here as well. So this does stack with the perk deck you have, which was a 10% armor recovery. If you get Shotgun All Basic, you do get 25%. So stack that, that's a total of 45% of armor recovery, not only for you, but also your crew as well, which is a nice bonus. Bear in mind, even though that's not saying in the description, it does not stack. I don't think it ever stacks if everyone equips Shotgun All, but it just helps. And of course both sides, so get a little bit more armor back by a headshot. And of course I picked the ICTV because, well, I meant to be a tank after all. Now of course, you can try if you don't feel like Iron Man Ace is much needed, you can use those 8 skill points and invest into somewhere else, and you can actually go for the CTV instead. But I like this one instead because it does give you a little bit more. And of course, bear in mind that I'm playing on the PS4 or at least the console versions, where they have 30 more armor. So what you see right now, the 200 armor for the base of the ICTV, it's going to be 170 armor base on PC. So keep that in mind. As for my weapon of choice, I went ahead with the 2 Sega 12s. Well, the first one being the regular Sega 12, loaded with the triple buckshot, the Donald's horizontal lever, or you can pick the shark teeth nozzle, a -4 accuracy boost, auto fire, a scope mount, the tactical Russian rail, the LED combo, the AK plastic grip, the Big Brother magazine, the Seymour sight. I mainly picked this sight just to try and get resemblance to the Cobra sight, which is like a Soviet optic, which is the only closest thing in the game, and I really wish Overkill would add that type of sight mod in this game. Hopefully for a future DLC at some point, if they're still still updating Payday 2 or still putting more Payday content, especially as the slick road is over. And the classic stock. As for my secondary, will be the GRIMM 12 or the Sega 12K. Now I know this is made by in the US, but I still consider it as a Sega 12 build up, basically. So I have the Dragon's Breath round, the King's Crown compensator, a stability boost, auto fire, the LED combo, Brave Brother magazine, Seymour sight, or I should say, and Seymour sight. I have concussion grenades, buzzer, pretty standard stuff. You mostly see that a lot of people rock. And I guess for my crew setup would be all the same thing. Got Crick, Sharp Bite, Inspiring, put that to Protector, Accelerator, and Invigorator, so that way I can able to move much more speed with the armor I have. Well, that's now that's a build. Now let's see it in action. Oh, FYI, there's no way this looks like a bulldozer. I don't know how people see it this way, but clearly I'm not. Like, you can see my armor is not thick. a bulldozer's armor is. The armor perk deck. The one thing that I could describe was the best way to play the armor is just relying on cover. Cover is your best friend in this game. And it really helps because another thing I like about it is the whole immunity for 2 seconds is it also gives you a good information of your surrounding and awareness. At least give your info to your team that if you see a dozer or how many more in the field, and you can able to take care of the immunity, it will be good. Right, let me see. I should have frag grenades, but
Clock's ticking. Get the fuck down! Get down!
and I guess it's a very very fitting map to play as Wolfen, since he always liked to cause a little bit of havoc.
$5,000, guys.
I also forgot to mention, but in the skills I went over, if you're pairing with the armor, you definitely want to have second wind basic, at least a basic version, so that way you're able to move more faster with the armor you have. And that's the beauty of the armor right here, and the second winning combo. Like able to run around with no problem. Okay. There we go. And well, the purpose of having the armor is just hunkering down. Now I know a lot of people, this is not everyone's playstyle, but I can tell you right now, it is definitely a lifesaver when it comes to the highest difficulty, being death sentence. And mostly, sometimes time is never on your side, but that's only 20%. That time is never on your side. And most of the time you can complete objectives a lot better. And I did try this perk deck out, or at least the build I have similar to it on DSOD on PC. I tried Brooklyn Bank, and I have to say, I was not very pleased the way the amount of enemies you have in the field, and where my AI go down a lot. It's like they're going down a lot on biker heists, which is unheard of. So it's just really ridiculous that it's just been surrounded by so many groups of enemies, which is ridiculous. Actually, I should carry one of them. Go around the map, there you go. Plus, the ammo pickup is really good for these weapons, considering that triple block on certain shotguns, you won't get much ammo pickup, but with a fully auto weapon, they're really good. So that's basically what you gotta do. You just have to, well, basically hold out. Like if you play like the hold out game mode, then this works the same way, except much better because you have a lot more room to run around and not just stay in one spot. And the holdout game mode, I mean, I do enjoy it for a few reasons. I just don't like the fact that you had to stay in one spot where the hostage is. To me, I think they should have changed it where you can able to move the hostage around, or at least change. At least give it different spots in the area of the map where you have to hunker down the hostage. But I know, I mean, a lot of people say, oh, let's have a hunker down right here. But it will be way too easy because you can just hide behind a counter. But I do see some problems with the holdout mode a little bit. But I will explain it probably entirely in a different video. So that's basically what you have to do, just hunker down and just wait it out. Plus, you definitely want to pay attention to your hit indicator, where anytime you get hit, you get a blue arrow. But when you get red, that means you're taking health damage, or at least dodge, at least. So, it really helps if you know when your armor breaks. I really wish they could update the, you know, when your armor breaks, as in, when your armor makes a breaking noise. So that way it makes it a lot more audible. And at the same time, a lot of people may not pay attention to the HUD. So yeah, that's basically the best way I do with the armor protect, just hunker down and just survive. I usually wait out when the police zone is over so you can do objectives. But you can also do it between, as long as you find cover, of course. As long as you have cover, really good cover, I can guarantee you, you'll have 0 downs with this build. Well, except for trying running on big open maps. Those, you definitely need to play a little more differently accordingly. Like Goat Simulator, for example. And look at that, I never lose health because I still topped up my armor with the immunity.
Well done.
So I didn't really do much, but the whole point is, that's how I run the armor protect. It saves me a lot. I mean, one good example of how the armor protect is such a clutch perk. I'm about to say crunch perk, but it's a clutch perk. Is that one time at Train Heist, when I was playing with Tom and Sea God, and they're both going down a lot, and we had to move the ammo bag to the boat escape, and I was the only human player left along with the AI Bonnie. So all I did was just hunker down, but it was a different type of armor build, basically using different weapons. And at that point, using the train car, I actually hide behind Bonnie so I can be able to survive. And the reason I keep surviving so much because I'm, like I said, because I keep topped off my armor because of this ability right here. Reinforced armor, along with the skill here, Second Wind. Because when your armor breaks, you increase your speed, so combine both with the ICTV, you became hard to kill. The only time I see some downside to this would be trying to play as the heroic, or trying to play the hero, or trying to revive everyone in the field. If your teammates keep going down a lot in the middle in the open, it's not really good for the player who plays heavily with the armor with the ICTV, because not only you're gonna go down, you're gonna let your teammate go down as well, just trying to revive you. At some times, it's best to wait it out until the coast is clear before you move up, but that's mostly the whole norm of the dodge and 2-piece suit players. Thank you for watching, everyone. Until next time, when I cover up the Rogue perk deck, essentially all about dodge. Until then, farewell and have a wonderful day, everyone.